Are you live? Oh, I'm live there too. Jeez. Oh, you can blame Philip DeFranco for making me late. I was watching or listening or both Philip DeFranco's YouTube channel, which I love. I can't get enough of that Philip DeFranco. I think he's awesome. That's a personal issue there. So just understand what that is. But yeah, Philip DeFranco, great show. If you don't know this, it's Phil DeFranco with one L. You should check it out. It's really great. And it's a lot of fun. That's one of my favorites. What can I say? So, I guess I better announce what's going on. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, November the 3rd already. Jeez. Oh, so it's a Thursday show, so you know it's going to be something fun and interesting. So so let me tell you how to devise what I was going to talk about today. I love kind of doing that. So I had a plan I was going to talk about. Initially, I was going to talk about movies I've never seen. And that list would have been kind of interesting. But so many people would have been freaking out how many movies I've never seen and don't care about seeing. And some people were like, "What? You've never seen that?" I get that all the time. People hear that from me. They're like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Oh no, man, I've seen that thing. It sounds like a piece of crap. I'll never watch that." And these are some pretty popular movies that I'm like, "Oh, I don't care about." So then I said, "Well, I don't really go negative. I want to go something more positive." And then I said, "Well, maybe I'll say like cool movies that I'm like guilty pleasure," but I haven't really done that. I haven't really done that. And then of course, it said that Starship Troopers is getting a reboot. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Because I love Starship Troopers. I mean, I don't know about most people. My Starship Troopers is a good movie to me. It's got everything I want. Action. And unusual depths. Unusually like, oh, that had to hurt. Oh, my God. Yeah, Paul Verhoeven, that's a great film. That director really hit it for me. You don't have to like it. Like I said, it's my guilty pleasure. I enjoy it. I when it comes on, TBS, or TNT, I'm like, oh, look, Starship Troopers, not again. I'm talking about the first one. The other one, the sequels and stuff they made, I'm sure they're garbage. I don't even want to look at those. That first one, yeah, it's garbage, but it's like high level garbage. So let's not get all like finger pointy and think it's like you can get better than that. So I'm just saying. There you go. So I couldn't do that. So then I decided, like, let me go in my little black book of of cool ideas that I know people will probably be interested in, and gives them a little more insight on me and stuff like that. And I said, hey, why don't I do like great 90s indie films? Because I'm like, that's kind of cool, because a lot of people don't know that in the 90s, when I was in my my 20s, really. I mean, I was born in 1970, so my 20s, I started getting into watching independent films just because I had a VCR and I worked for Suncoast Video. If you know what Suncoast Video is, you're of a certain age. So I did. I bought a lot of stuff. I rented a lot of stuff. I just was watching a lot of movies. So I became a big movie junkie, and most of my friends are big movie junkies. Shout out to Little Maddie Sanger back home in Connecticut. Little Maddie, if you're watching this one's for you. So we got like a lot of movies that were just like indie films that I thought would be cool to watch and check out. So I made a list of indie films, and I'm gonna go through one at a time. Some of these are popular, some of them are not. Some of them about exciting stuff, some are not. They're my choices. It's stuff that I watched, I thought was cool, that I think you'd like to watch, and some, are what they are. So here we go. Starting with number one. Number one is a comedy adventure about an assassin, and it is a funny movie that I thoroughly love. The main character is a favorite of mine. It is a great action film. If you haven't seen it, I'd be really surprised. It's very old. I don't know how. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna check how old it is. It's at least 20 years, if not like more like 20 now. It's like 20 years. It's like right on 20. Bang, almost 20 years. The film got positive reviews, of course, and grossed $28 million. What was the budget? The budget was $15 million, so they doubled their money. And as anywhere you go, that's good money, no matter what you are. This film starring an actor who I think was always a good actor, and was in several of the movies I loved, including the infamous Say Anything, which is not on this list. But it is John Cusack and one of my favorite films, Grosse Point Blank. It is a fun film. If you've never watched it, well, first of all, if you've never watched it, I don't even know what you're doing talking to me, because it's like, holy cow, how could you have not watched this film? It is very, I mean, if you're a 90s kid, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's very 90s. Just the music, and you're just out of school, you're coming back for your 10th year anniversary. I mean, that's the kind of like what's going to happen to me, but I didn't do that. I didn't go, look, man, I moved out of Connecticut and I got away. I never went back. Well, that's not true. I went back for a friend's wedding, but I haven't been back in 20 years. I'm not going back to Connecticut. It's too cold. I'm just not doing it. I live in South Florida now. You figure it out. So yeah, so it's like that kind of feel, and it goes back, and it's his home, it's reunion, and a lot of craziness happens, and it's just I don't want to ruin it for people who actually haven't watched it, which I can't imagine who has not watched this film. Minnie Driver's in it in like a role actually I really like her in. I like Minnie Driver in certain things, but I really love her in this. I think she's very funny. It's very relatable. I'm from a small town. It's like Grosse Pointe, Michigan is what they're talking about. And Cusack has some really, really great moments. One of my favorite moments is when he stabs a guy in the neck with a pen, which I thought was brilliant. And Dan Aykroyd is really funny in it. I got to admit, Dan Aykroyd is kind of crazy. There's a scene that I scream at work all the time. We'll talk about meetings. It's like, will there be meetings? It's like, of course. He's like, no meetings. No meetings. And I feel the same way. I remember like no meetings. So yeah, it's a fun film. It's got a lot of action. You will be happy with it. I was very happy with it. Trust me, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. There's nothing in this movie that you will not find funny and interesting. So yes, first off, Grosse Pointe Blank, great film, awesome film. Go check it out. You can find it anywhere. Come on, it's Grosse Pointe Blank. I'm not kidding anybody. Now, next up, now this is a very independent film. This is like a tiny independent film, but it's a great film, and I reference it constantly. It's got one of my favorite intros. I talked about it. Let me talk about it. I actually in my head, I talked about it. I want to remake this film as an adventure. I've said it a million times. The premise is so simple. It is so goofily stupid, and it is awesome. So let me give you the quick. If you don't know what the film I'm talking about, I'm going to give you some hints. Let me tell you, 2 people appear in it. 3 people appear. Okay. Deborah Von Walkenberg. If you're like, who the hell is that? Deborah Von Walkenberg used to be on a show a long time ago called Too Close for Comfort. And this show was, I keep saying Ted Knight. Ted Knight was the father in the show. And it was a very 80s show. It was not very good. There were some funny moments and stuff like that. And it was what it was supposed to be, a stupid show, and it was. So she appears in this, and this is like damn near 10, 15 years after she got the show. And then like the 2 big stars on this show, which is hilarious to think these are the 2 big stars. And you got to remember, this film was released 1997. The 2 big stars in this movie are, number 1, Ice-T, that's right, the rapper Ice-T, and Christopher Lambert. Now, if you know anything about movies and you know the high quality fromage that qualifies for it, yes. Any movie with Ice-T is automatically cool to me. I like Ice-T. He's one of my favorite rappers, always has been, always will be. So that already got me interested. But then to have Christopher Lambert, a.k.a. Highlander himself, in the film, well, this can only go in good places. And let me tell you, this film goes in awesome places. I want to give you the quick gist of it, very simple. Basically, Icy's character, a guy by the name of Vincent Moon, he represents a crime syndicate, and they invite all their main killers, about 100 or so of them, to a maximum security prison, which is scheduled to open the next day. So apparently all these guys have betrayed the syndicate in some kind of way, as it's trying. And the scene is one of my favorite scenes. It's a very long speech, and it's very kind of cool. And it's just, it's like, you maybe be maybe the big thing, maybe something little. You blab, you stole, did it. It's a whole great speech. It's one of my favorite speeches I've seen on film. I love it. It's Ice-T giving it. So, and then basically what happens is they've taken all the guy's guns, and they're in this prison. They go, it's real simple. We're gonna have a game. The deadliest have survived. And it's going to be real simple. You're all going to kill each other till you get down to the last 3. And the last 3 guys are going to split $10 million. And so people are like, what the hell? They go, yeah, that's how we're going to do it. And then one guy says, what if we don't want to play? Bam! They shoot him. They go, well, then you're not going to play. And it's just, and you realize, oh, crap, it's bad. So then they do the thing that I think is brilliant. This is where it's so brilliant. So they're on a tier. The Ice Team guys are on a tier, and the people are down below. So they start pouring down guns to the people. So you're thinking, "Holy cow, it's going to be a shootout!" Because everyone's grabbing for guns and and they're grabbing them and just like ah. They're all pointing and firing. Click, 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 click. All the guns are unloaded. It's like, what the hell? Then the guys in the tiers dump down baseball bats and all the bullets and ammo. So here you have guns, and then you have bullets. So you've got to put bullets in your gun to stop, and it just is a madhouse. And I love it. I love this movie. It's got a lot of great scenes. The music is actually very, very good. If you're a fan of Perez Prado, there's a lot of good music. It's a very samba. You'll like it. If you like music like that, you will like it. But it is an awesome film, and it has got twists and turns, and who you think is going to get killed doesn't get killed the way you think, and all kinds of stuff. And Christopher Lambert is actually really pretty good in this. It's one of my favorite little roles from him. But yeah, look, it's a 90s film. You'll enjoy it. You will love it. Called Mean Guns. Find it everywhere. There'll be a link. I should actually put these links in here. So I'm talking about these movies. I think I'll put these links in Facebook because, you guys might be interested in actually going, what is Porter talking about? I might want to read that thing or see that thing. So let me do this real quick. I'm going to get on here quick. Wow. Isn't it amazing? The internet is amazing. I can just say I'm going to do it, and I just do it. Boom. That's weird. I'm getting a lot of feed. It's funny. There's no feed on my phone one, but there's all the feeds in here. So boom. There's the two movies I talked about. Who hasn't? Look at Lord. My movies are awesome. You've got to watch this stuff. All right. So then number three. Number three is an unusual film, and I'm even amazed at how I found it. It's one of those things. It's like I think this was one of those blockbuster rentals that someone either told me about. Said you got to watch it. You're gonna love this. I'm like, what is this? And it's like, who's in this? And I was like, wait a minute. So I saw who was in it. I'm getting this all queued up so it's all cool and smooth when I do this. And there's a lot of people in this film. There's a lot of people in this film. It's really kind of a cool film that I think people will appreciate. I appreciate it because it's a damn cool film. So some of the people in this film, Andy Garcia, Christopher Lloyd, William Forsythe, Bill Nunn, Treat Williams, Jack Warden, Steve Buscemi, I can't even pronounce your name, Frieza Balk, Gabrielle Antoine, and Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken makes a small appearance, but kind of, pivotal to the whole thing. And it's a really cool movie. It is definitely a neo-noir film up to its gills. It is great. I love it. It is something I watch whenever it pops on. It's very hard to. It's definitely something that pops up you're gonna watch. And people said, oh, it's very much, and it kind of is. It is a Pulp Fiction clone, so it has that kind of feel. So if you watch Pulp Fiction, you'll probably enjoy this one. And I love it. And the film is called Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. And it's a really interesting film. I like it. It's just, and the premise is not really complicated. So you see this, I don't like a lot of complicated. I do like complicated films, but this premise is not very complicated. And basically, it's one of those things that this one ex-gangster is leaving the criminal life, and he has to do a plan for one of his bosses, and he gets his group of guys that he works with some of the most interesting individuals you'll ever see, including Critical Bill, which is the greatest name ever for a bad guy. And it's one of those scenarios that this whole thing happens, and they're supposed to be done something, and the whole thing goes south, and it's botched. And these guys basically, it doesn't work out well for them. And basically, the main mobster tells them, I'm going to buckwheat you, which I've never heard that term before listening to this movie. And I heard this, you're going to buckwheat someone. It's like killing them in the most obscene and destructive ways. And one of the ways they describe it, and that was the one I'll never forget, because it's kind of visual when you hear it. It goes, it's where you stick a pistol up someone's rectum and you fire it. And basically they spend the next, and it's not a large caliber, it's something small that'll bounce around. And you're going to spend the next, 30 minutes in the most excruciating pains as they try to poop, but at the same time it feels like white hot razors they're pooping. And I'm being nice to say poop because they use the real one. It's like, it's whoa. And that's like, these guys go basically get this, you're gonna get buckwheated. And they got this whole hitman who's gonna be stalking them, Mr. Shh. And it's a really cool film with a really cool idea, really well done. You will like this film. This film has some really weird moments by guys who've seen a lot of stuff. Like Treat Williams, when he plays Critical Bill, is so weird. It's like, what the? No, that's crazy. No, that guy. Yeah, Critical Bill is awesome. There's some really great scenes in that. And, oh my God, it is a fun, well, it's not fun, but it's a good film to see. If you want to see criminals acting like criminals, how they shake hands, it's a really cool, when you see it, you'll get it, and it makes total sense. So it's like, that's brilliant. I never really thought about that. And it's just, it's just got a lot of great ideas. And man, oh man, it's good stuff. Good neo-noir. This is from 1995. You know, it's you know, it's a Miramax film. It's a tiny little film, but you know, it's worth seeing. You will not be disappointed. I promise you will not be. Especially with Critical Bill. Holy cow, man. You'll not be disappointed with that. That dude was insane. Whew, that was insane. Yeah, you ain't kidding. My next movie, all right, this is a kind of controversial film. When I heard it was getting made, I was like, what? And after I heard everything that happened on the whole thing, it was crazy. It had it's one of those films that you need to watch. It was made in 1998. It's a really it's a tough film to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It's a tough film to watch for several reasons. It's a tough film to watch, and the people playing in it are awesome. And I guess I'm gonna give it away when I tell you like the people. All right, so well, the main actors in this are Ed Norton, in probably one of his first big starring roles. Edward Furlong, Fareed Balkagan, that girl's everywhere. Stacy Keach, Elliot Gould, Avery Brooks, aka Cisco, aka Hawk, and Beverly D'Angelo from the Vacation franchises. This film, I heard about it. I think I saw the trailer and I was like, "Ooh, what's that? That sounds crazy." And one of the premises, some what was the phrase? I hope I can find it here, but it was one of those like, oh my god, that's a great phrase. Crap, I can't find it. Of course I can't, but it was that good. This is a film that got Ed Norton a lot of people watching him. Like, who's this guy, Ed Norton? He's amazing. And this film is straight out California dirty. This is why I probably even hate California more than I normally do. West Coast, I'm an East Coast guy. What'd you expect? This film is like so gritty, and the scene that is one of the most disturbing scenes that was visually hard to watch, but it's important, was the curb stomp. The film I'm talking about is called American History X. If you haven't seen this film, let me give you a little setup for it so you can understand what this film is about if you haven't seen it. This film tells the story of two Venice Beach brothers who become involved in the neo-Nazi movement. The older brother serves 3 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter, changes his beliefs, and tries to prevent his younger brother from going down the same path. It is a great film. It is amazing. It is also so damn. There's a lot of moments that are like hard to watch. And I don't mean that in an, oh, it's hard to watch. Well, yeah. It is, oh my God, it is a brutal, brutal film. It is so brutal. And to watch it, it is rough. It is rough. And to see what happens in prison, okay. I don't want to ruin this for you, but there's a couple of things that happen in prison that, yeah, prison is a place I don't want to go, and this movie just reaffirms it for me. I am not built for prison. I am not built for that kind of life. And this movie just shows it in full detail and shows you the other side of, the things you don't think about what might happen to you in prison. And it is just brutal. It is brutal, and it's unforgiving, and the ending is unforgiving. And if you get a chance, watch the director's cut. There's just some scenes they don't show you that are still unforgiving. And holy cow, man, it is an awesomely rough film that you should watch, because they don't make films like this anymore. Well, that's not true. They make some films like this, but this is one of those kind of films that you got to watch. I mean, you got to watch it. It's not even like maybe you should watch it. You got to watch it. It is punch you in the face. Oh my God. Oof. But once again, Ed Norton, in probably one of his first roles, one of probably his best roles. I think he's brilliant in this. Everybody in this is great. One of the, I don't ruin it for you, because it's the whole thing that starts the movie is a kind of a brilliant spin on civil rights, and probably everybody. I think a lot of people saw it from this movie, because once you see it, you're like, oh my God, I never thought about it like that. and it's a good movie for that. So if you take a second out, watch this film. It's a great film. You need to watch it. It is not pleasant. You're not gonna be smiling at the end of this thing. You're gonna be crying. Lots of crying. Lots of crying. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Whew, that is some good stuff. You ain't kidding, man. That's some good stuff. Jesus. Like I said, I haven't seen that movie in a couple of years. But every time it comes on, I'm like, oh, gotta check it out again. Gotta check it out again. But it's gonna be good again, and it always is. Yeah, whew, neo-Nazis. I would think neo-Nazis very interesting because I'm like, for me, but it's actually it's very interesting. You should definitely check it out. Not even a question. Next up is a film done by a director. I guess it's gotten a lot of bad press as of late due to some of his other recent movies. Yeah, he's been. I guess I don't blame. Well, okay. Some of his movies have been very good. Some have been very bad. Some have gotten to be very popular. Some have not. Some are pretty cool ideas. Some have not. But he's always working. He is doing a lot of different things. The movie I'm talking about, I guess, was his first really big movie that he was the man on, and he got very, very popular. And then this is basically what set up his career for him. This film is a great film because of it's got some really cool ideas, and it sets you up from the beginning. And it is a film that, okay, I said I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it, but I also don't want to tell you what it is right now, but you'll know when I start announcing people. This one is a cool film that if you're not paying attention, there's a twist. This movie, and I'm gonna tell you the movie, and people, all right. So I saw this movie, and there's a scene in this movie is when I figured out, and this is early on, because of one simple word. And I'm gonna tell you this, and you're gonna know the movie. Kobayashi. And I know what you're thinking, but it's not Star Trek. The film I'm talking about is The Usual Suspects. I love this film. It is a great film. It is a awesome neo-noir film. I guess tonight's even neo-noir night, because there's a lot of that going in. This is an awesome film. One of the coolest twist about. One of the coolest, you weren't paying attention, so you got done. And I say that, I think it's great, and I think it was awesome, and I think people should watch it. The scene that caused me to figure out this film was it's a goofy little scene because they use the word Kobayashi, and I keep going back to the Star Trek reference, and it just sticks with me. And then I start figuring out what's going on in the film. Even though I figured out the film, because of that, and it's so weird how I did that. I'm still amazed that actually that happened. This was an awesome film with a great cast doing great work, and Kevin Spacey just showing how great of an actor he is. I mean, Kevin Spacey is doing Kevin Spacey. It's ridiculous how good Kevin Spacey is in the film. And what else is also interesting about this film? The film only cost $6 million to make. $6 million. And I mean, dude, that's pretty cheap. And the people they have in this film a lot of these guys are known actors, including Beyonce Del Toro, one of his first speaking roles with one of the weirdest accents I've ever heard from a human being, which I still can't figure out what he's saying to have that goddamn film. I was like, what? What is he saying? I'm like, what is he? Is he speaking English? Is that actually English? And it was like, that was crazy. That was just some crazy stuff. And then, Jesus, man, Stephen Baldwin's in this, and he's great in this. He is great. I didn't think Stephen Baldwin ever see those words great and Stephen Baldwin together, but man, he is great for this film. You got to watch it for that. If you haven't seen Usual Suspects, I can't even understand why we're talking. You should have seen this a long time ago. It's a great film. Watch it. I don't need to sell this one. This is a great film. The final two are kind of like mandatory watching for different reasons. Yeah, because they are 90s films and they really just personify the 90s. Is that correct? Yeah, I think Yeah, these films basically do. They do for two different reasons. Oh, look at you, Lewis. You're going to be all crafty. I'm going to be all crafty for a second. So the first one of these two films, number one, is a personal favorite film of mine. I love this film. I'm amazed by this film. This film has proven something that I always thought, but never really knew till I saw this film. And this film stars nobody you know. There's nobody in here who's famous in this film. Not one person. Not anybody. There's no one appears in it. This film goes off to have two more sequels that get people that are very, very well known in it. This film is actually a foreign film. Actually, there's nobody in this film you know. There's nobody. Maybe the director. You know the director, and you know him because of this film. You didn't know him before this film, but you know him because this film has gone down in the annals of movie making history for one thing in particular. One thing in particular that made it amazing that so many people after seeing it said, Jesus, that's pretty impressive. And got me thinking, well, I could do a movie yeah. So this film was made for $7,000. And this is the thing that everyone talks about this film. Oh, this film's made for $7,000. And I'm like, well, what's this film made for $7,000? It's a great Western. You're going to like it. It's technically a Western. It is kind of a Western. Yeah, it's a Western. And the premise is like really goofy. It's like, mistaken identity. It's a mistaken identity action film. And the mistaken identity is all based on a guitar case. So the movie I'm talking about is not Desperado, the first movie that inspired to make the sequel Desperado, called El Mariachi. It is a great film. It showed you how inventive Robert Rodriguez was. This is his first film. Because of this movie, like I said, I was a big fan of his after that. I bought his book, Rebel Without a Crew, which is his book talking about how he shot and developed and did this whole thing. This is a fun movie for all the right reasons. And I suggest everyone to watch it. See if you can get the version with the DVD version that has the director's notes on it, plus the 10-minute film school. He has a 10-minute film school he puts at the end of this movie, that you can learn about how to do stuff. He talks about shooting and how he did stuff and how he saved money. And it's like, dude, that guy did El Mariachi for $7,000. And that film, the box office on that film was $2 million. And when you find out what he had to do to get the $7,000, you're even more impressed with him. Oh, I love El Mariachi. It's just a great story. It's a great piece. It's a fun thing you should watch. And you should watch it. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. If you're a creative person, you have to watch the film. You have to watch the film. You got to watch everything on it. The director's cut. Read Rebel Without a Crew. You got to get it. It is actually because I care enough. I'm going to see if they have a quick link here, or I have to type it in and be lazy and do it at the end. I'm going to do it at the end. So, Rebel Without a Crew, you should definitely. You got to get it. It's a great book. It's great to read. And as a fan of the genre and the fan of creative, you have to get it. I'm not BSing you people. You have to pick it up. And finally, with right at 9:30, a film that made one guy famous, and I mean infamously famous, which technically for me is kind of like it was a film that I saw that when I saw it, I said, hey, he's ripping off. And that's what I said. Now, there's some moments in this film that are 100% true to form. It is a unique film by itself. There is definitely that. It's also the film that I saw. I guess it's his feature debut. And when I saw it, I was like, dude, I've seen this movie. I was very mad about that. And people love this film. People rave about how great this film is. Oh my God, this is the best film ever. Yes, I just did that. It is a good film. Except if you saw another little film that came out of China called City on Fire. You see, City on Fire and this film have a lot of similarities, to the point that I can maybe call it a homage to City on Fire. And now that I'm much older, I'm going to say that it is very much an homage to City on Fire. If you don't know what City on Fire is, it's a film by Ringo Lam. Ringo Lam was a big director in Hong Kong for a while. I'm also one of the guys I'm a fan of. A lot of the scenes that happen in City on Fire happen in Reservoir Dogs, to the point where you're like, I think he actually took some stuff. And it's like, I can't call it theft out and out, but there's some stuff going on. So, oh, did I announce the film? Oh yeah, Reservoir Dogs. So, Quentin Tarantino's masterpiece, the one that everyone began to love, and after he did it, they were all like, "Oh, he's the greatest thing ever!" Oh, Quentin Tarantino. Don't get me wrong, I like Quentin Tarantino. I think this is an interesting directorial debut. Being a '90s kid, he did this thing. He worked at a video store, wrote stuff, and started making movies. And this is the first one that kind of pissed me off because it was like, I'd seen City on Fire, and I'd seen that film, and I said like, "Hey, that guy just stole that from City on Fire, and he stole that from City." And it took me a long time to finally understand what Quentin Tarantino was doing as a film director. It was a long time I was like, "This guy's just a copycat. I don't understand why people like him so much." And it wasn't until I saw, what was it? What film was it? I can't remember what it was. I think it might have even been Kill Bill. Yeah, I got to think back. What was the film? I think it was Kill Bill. That I finally figured out what's going on. And I'm like, oh, now I get it. So, yeah, because I saw Reservoir Dogs, I saw Pulp Fiction, I saw Jackie Brown, and then it's Kill Bill. Yeah, it was Kill Bill. So, for the longest time, I always thought that Quentin Tarantino was copying films that most Americans had not seen and making them to his own, like Reservoir Dogs and all that stuff. So people were like just waxing how awesome it was. And someone like me, remember, at this time, I'm a big movie buff. So I'm watching films from all over the world. So I'm getting all kinds of knowledge, see cool stuff. I couldn't figure out why people just never saw the originals. And I realized, and it took me, actually, and when I saw Kill Bill, it kind of finally made sense. Quentin Tarantino was not copying these guys. Quentin Tarantino was actually playing direct homage because he loved these films. I thought he was more like, oh, he's just taking these films. And I'm like, no, he actually is a huge fan of these films and this genre, like the stuff he did in Reservoir Dogs and Straight Out of City on Fire. He likes Hong Kong action films. He's a huge young fat fan. So it's like that kind of stuff kind of fit in. Kill Bill. The first half of both movies are just like he picked his favorite movies he loved, put them all together in one movie and said, "This is what I'm doing," and everything pays homage to it. So it's like it's not that he's like, "Oh, I think I'm a better director than everybody," because that's what I thought he was doing. I'm like, no, he's really saying, I love this stuff. I think this is really, really cool. I think you should think this is cool because this is some cool stuff you need to watch. And if you like my films, here's the stuff that I pulled it from so you can see some more cooler stuff. And that's kind of how I look at, my creative process. I find things I like, I put them together, and I mash them up and go, look at this cool thing I made. So people go, wow, that's totally awesome. But it's like him. I'm taking pieces of everything I love and putting them in something and then giving you something different. So I had to step back from Quentin. I used to just badmouth Quentin, but Quentin knows what he's doing. Quentin is actually a really good director, and I haven't seen Hateful Eight yet. That's like the next one I got to see. But yeah, the only film I really didn't like, but I didn't think was just good, was Inglourious Bastards. Don't get me wrong, I liked 90%, well, 75, 80% of the film. There's some moments I'm like, really? Oh God. And that was it. But once again, another paying homage. Nothing wrong with that. I'm hoping Hateful Eight has that same kind of feel, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not saying anything about that. Boom. There you go. So those are films. They'll all be listed, of course, in the thread. I'll have them in the notes. Like I said, these are films that you can watch at your leisure. I will appreciate you watching these because you're going to feel how awesome they are because it's awesome. Because I only give out awesome stuff. That's what I do here. Everyone else gives you horrible stuff. I'm giving you awesomeness. So go check these films out. You got some time over the weekend. You ain't doing nothing. Next week is going to be, I think, Veterans Day. If you're smart, you'll have the Friday off. So if you're even smarter like moi, you'll have the Monday off. So you turn it into a 4-day weekend. The best kind of weekends. So think about it. Check it out. Go look. See if these films are available. And you should watch them because you will love them and they'll be great. Thank you so much for stopping by, of course, for this lovely episode. As always, did it perfect today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, maybe not here, but subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out. We're still at 200 people. Awesome. We're doing very well, and it's still good. It's still good. So, hey, we got more cool stuff going on. Next week will be, of course, more fun stuff. We'll probably talk more about Infinite Dungeon, how that's going. It'll be 1 weekend, and some other stuff. And to all my friends watching, and all people like, yeah, we'll talk about that. But hey, it's a good time. It's a good time to be creative. So I'm gonna go be creative and do something cool. I'll talk to you all later. Y'all have a lovely weekend and be safe. Bye.